Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
You live with intention, what you allow into your body and what you don't. Like you, Azure was well built on a higher standard. Truthful, transparent labels, every ingredient listed. No proprietary blends. Organic isn't our finish line. We go further with rigorous third-party testing beyond industry standards to verify purity and potency. Living deliberately means choosing products that align with your values. Azure Well, wellness without compromise. Visit azurelivingwell.com. These products have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Weight Watchers now offers access to affordable GLP-1s.
Weight Watchers has everything I need, from weight loss medications to nutrition support and help with my side effects.
With our program, our members are losing more weight with expert nutrition and side effect support.
Weight Watchers prescribing GLP-1 medications. It's been life-changing.
Better results, expert support, lose more weight, make it last. Get started for as low as $25 at WeightWatchers.com.
All medications require eligibility and prescription. First month as low as $25 with a 12-month Med Plus plan. Does not include the cost of GLP-1 medications.
Kieran O'Donovan, a lot of speculation about what's going to happen with Jeremiah Love and which teams might be inclined to take a run at selecting him, because it looks like he's going to be off the board in the top five, given the level of talent he has and given how special he's perceived to be. One of the points that I hear being made over and over again is people are looking at the prospect of Jeremiah Love ending up in Arizona or Tennessee and thinking, and we watched this with Ashton Genty last year and watched a really talented running back just absolutely wasted in Las Vegas with an offensive line that doesn't look like it would stand up to a stiff breeze at Dollymount Strand. And you don't want to see that happen to Jeremiah Love. Please let a good team take him off the board.
Yeah, and we talked about the Cardinals last week or the week before, and I was saying it does put the Cardinals under pressure because they will feel that pressure to take the best player available, and by general consensus or whatever you want to call it, Jeremiah Love, besides Fernando Mendoza, he does seem to be the biggest slam dunk, home run, whatever you want to call it. And so I feel like if he is going to be there at number 3 for the Cardinals if they want him. So will they feel the pressure to maybe trade down and get out of the situation? Will they feel the pressure to take him as the best player and just worry about what let the chips fall where they will after that, or will they just stick to their guns and take the player that fills the need? I think if he falls to 4, I think the Titans would be foolish not to take him. And then if they are foolish enough not to take him, if he falls to 5, I think the Giants should absolutely take him, because if you look at a young quarterback like Jackson Dart and Cam Ward, and listening to Albert Breer only a day or two ago, he was saying what Jeremiah Love does. He can line up in the slot. He's one of the most safe receiving running backs to come out of the draft in a long time. It reminds you of Christian McCaffrey, and while he has the potential to blow it open and take the top off and go 99 yards, whatever you want to call it, he's a guy that will almost undoubtedly get, he's a guy that'll leave you 2nd and 6, 3rd and 2. And what more would you want for Jackson Dart and for Cam Ward than to have that safety valve, to dump the ball off, to get your, to get you forward, go forward ball on 1st down, 2nd down. And yeah, offensive line is so important. I believe that, but I do think he may be an opportunity too good to pass up for the Titans. And then if he falls to the Giants for them, the Cardinals are in a more tricky situation, because I think, as Kieran said about the Jets, they've got holes to fill all over the shop. And it would be a tricky situation. I'm not 100% sure the Cardinals take him but it'll be one of the more interesting decisions in the top 10.
Yeah. Brian, the other interpretation of the Cardinals' speculation around them selecting Love at 3 is that that's exactly what you would put out there if you wanted to entice somebody, let's say the New York Giants, for sake of argument. You mentioned it briefly earlier, to package up the draft capital that they've got and come up to 3 to take him, because you're worried that he's gone otherwise, and you might actually have a chance.
Yeah, you're going to flood the leaks as much as possibly can this week, Conor, aren't you? Really, to allow for those circumstances to come about where the Cardinals need a lot of players. Let's be fair; they need a lot of situations to be corrected. Offensive line, if they're going to bring in a young quarterback, which has been speculated in terms of Ty Simpson. Offensive
and
line,
psychologically, if I'm Joe Shane, I'm thinking this is my Saquon. This could make up for the Saquon exit.
Yeah, but I see. This is the problem. Like a lot of Giants fans, here we go again. There's a lot of stressful heads of Giants fans who are going to say, "You can't take the running back. You can't take the running back because they took Saquon Barkley at 2." But it's a very different situation, circumstances. You've got an offensive line now which is much more solidified. A young quarterback as opposed to Eli Manning coming to the back end of his career when Saquon was selected. The circumstances are very different. Ultimately, I don't think it will be the Giants taking Jeremiah Love because it's like this is where you're in the top 10. You have so many gaps, you have so many holes, and I just don't think the Giants are in a situation where they can afford to take a player as good as he is, and he's like adaptable in the running game. He's a great pass option. I think it would be for me now. I'm kind of coming around to the situation. It would be fearless to the Giants to do that because there's much better options for them. They got to solidify the defense. There's enough players, I think, offensively to do enough. But who is that team that's going to come up the tree? Because there is teams such as the Cowboys who are out. Like if you're the Cardinals, I'll throw them back at you, Connor. If you're the Cardinals and the Cowboys are offering you the 12 and the 20, do you jump back and get those 2 first-round picks and allow the Cowboys to come up and let the Cowboys take what they want? Is it a Jeremiah Love? Is it Sonny Styles? Jerry Jones wants to put a marker down.
The Cowboys, by the way, have traded up in the first round once in the last 30 years for DeMarcus Lawrence. That's not something that Jerry Jones does. For all of the risks that he takes and all of the Arkansas gambler, he does not trade up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it just seems to be kind of the highly touted piece over the course of the last weeks. But then again, as you say, when you back it up with statistics, it's unlikely. It just strikes me as someone who's in love with Jeremiah Love, and maybe someone that we're not actually even considering right now that will jump up and take him and give the Cardinals what they want, which essentially take the pressure off, come back, get some additional picks, and start solidifying the team. In various different positions.
Kieran Boyle, you were talking a little bit earlier about maybe we get a run on receivers, and there are some talented, although players to come in some instances with a bit of an asterisk because of injury history and so on. There's a lot of talented receivers that you could potentially take a swing on. Depending on what happens in the first round, though, the AJ Brown trade is a thing that we're going to have to keep a very close eye on because it seems almost inevitable that he's going to be traded as part of the Eagles draft day activity. Patriots obviously lining up as the obvious choice. But the Eagles will hope in terms of his trade value that there's a run on receivers early so that that makes the price that much steeper for the Patriots, that they've no chance of getting the guy that they want and that they have to really sweeten the pot if they're going to get AJ Brown.
Yeah, I think it's better for them if they wait till after June 1st. I think there's some financial stuff going on.
Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
You live with intention, what you allow into your body and what you don't. Like you, Azure was well built on a higher standard. Truthful, transparent labels, every ingredient listed. No proprietary blends. Organic isn't our finish line. We go further with rigorous third-party testing beyond industry standards to verify purity and potency. Living deliberately means choosing products that align with your values. Azure Well, wellness without compromise. Visit azurelivingwell.com. These products have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Weight Watchers now offers access to affordable GLP-1s.
Weight Watchers has everything I need, from weight loss medications to nutrition support and help with my side effects.
With our program, our members are losing more weight with expert nutrition and side effect support.
Weight Watchers prescribing GLP-1 medications. It's been life-changing.
Better results, expert support, lose more weight, make it last. Get started for as low as $25 at WeightWatchers.com.
All medications require eligibility and prescription. First month as low as $25 with a 12-month Med Plus plan. Does not include the cost of GLP-1 medications.
So, I mean, I who knows if there's going to be much action with AJ Brown in the short term. Again,
sorry, my point being, just to clarify, that if you wanted the trade to happen on the draft, if you're the Eagles, there is a scenario in which somebody's going to offer you a king's ransom because they didn't get the player they want and they're staring at an AJ Brown shaped hole.
True. Yeah, I mean, he's incredibly talented. He's got height. He's got height, which is more than a lot of the receivers in this draft have. So, I think somebody like Brown, who's clearly unhappy at the Eagles and has clearly fallen out with Sirianni, is, notwithstanding all the newspaper articles over the last couple of weeks with certain reporters, I think he's made it pretty clear as well that he's ready to go. So, it's going to be really, really interesting to see what kind of action we get on AJ Brown. I think he's, not only his body language, but also the Eagles. They're not putting out any kind of any word that they want him back, or there's been no indication from Roseman, and obviously Sirianni's not going to say anything. So it's almost like they're just going to tread the water right now, just to see what happens. And it's all but guaranteed that Brown is going to leave the Eagles. What's going to be given in return? That's going to be the really interesting thing. Is a team further down the road or further down the kind of pecking order? Are they going to just throw a whole bunch of stuff at the Eagles, or are they just going to do a like for like? So it's going to be real fun to see what happens with that. But I mean, the bottom line is Brown won't be in Philadelphia for much longer. But how it ends is going to be keeping in line with a lot of the Philly drama the last couple of years.
And Kieran O'Donovan, to Kieran Boyle's point, it does make sense financially for the Eagles to hold off on doing that move until after June. And also, if you're Harry Roseman, and we know how well Harry Roseman has used his draft capital over the years, you would probably value, based on everything we're hearing about the 2026 and 2027 draft classes, a 2027 pick more than you'd value a 2026 pick.
Yeah, it's funny because it kind of puts the Eagles in a sticky situation as well. If they want to increase AJ Brown's value and leverage that, I mean, they have to bear in mind that if they're planning on trading away AJ Brown, they're going to have an AJ Brown shaped hole on their roster as well. So they need to think about it. They need to also think about wide receivers, because he diminishes their pass catching, their long playability as well. Because I heard him referred to today as a walking first down. That's what he does. I mean, he converts, he gets them out of holes. So, does Howie Roseman completely, does he hold on to his bluff, or does or does he hold firm and not do anything in terms of wide receiver in this draft to leverage or to increase AJ Brown's value to try and entice teams to pay bigger to get him out of that building? Or does he start to find his replacement now in that draft? So it's an intriguing situation. And the other thing as well is you're thinking about teams, and yeah, it was I heard Adam Schefter today. He said it is most likely going to be a post June 1st trade. And you just wonder what's going to happen between now and then, because we've seen this so many times. There's only one team, the Patriots, being linked to this trade so far, but you've seen it so many times. You think about one team all the way through, and finally at the last minute, some other complete surprise package comes in and takes him away. But he's an intriguing prospect for the Patriots, reuniting him with Vrabel. I know, like, having Romeo Dobbs as a true number 2 or even a number 3, if you rank him lower than Keyshawn Boutte, it would automatically, undoubtedly make the Patriots contenders. I mean, they were in the Super Bowl last year, and it would completely change the game for Drake May. But and
the whole narrative arc to it is very compelling if you're a football fan, because we saw Mike Vrabel on camera more or less losing his shit when he learned that the Tennessee Titans were trading AJ Brown to the Eagles, which was the beginning of the end of his relationship in Tennessee with the
it's a real sitcom, and it's a real pity as well that June the 1st is so far away. You'd love to see something happening this week just to add a bit of spice to the draft, but no, unfortunately, it seems that we're not gonna hear much about AJ Brown this week in terms of a trade being executed.
Brian, a couple of deals that have gotten done, and interesting ones at that. Trent Williams has finally resolved his contract situation with the 49ers, who in turn have finally resolved their situation with him, to be fair. It's a 2-year deal for him. He is now past the $250,000 mark in terms of overall earnings from the NFL. Man gets paid because he's one of the best.
Yeah, and every time the 49ers are without him, it's evident how good and how striking he is, because he essentially keeps the offensive line together. So this is one that's been kind of being muted for a while, and I suppose it's probably come at the right time for the 49ers to give him a boost ahead of the draft. And it's time and time again, like we've seen Purdy in games, and he's running for his dear life, and it usually tends to be the games in which Trent Williams hasn't been there to solidify the offensive line. It's amazing how, as good as some of the teams are in the league, Conor, there's always one domino in that particular offensive line that kind of keeps everything together. Trent Williams certainly is that one. did the other one today as well. You may come to it as the Cowboys, signing the kicker. It's amazing. We talk about skilled players and skilled positions, and people who don't understand this game fully kind of just assume it's easy to go out and kick a field goal with everything. It's not the case, but Cowboys have got a stellar kicker there who can. I mean, you're giving him 65, close to 68-yard field goals if he's making them. So it doesn't come as surprising that one either.
Yeah. And Kieran Boyle, the point on Brandon Aubrey, I think, is that the game has changed because of the rule change around the kickoffs, right? So Brandon Aubrey is now a factor for you if you get 2 first downs because his range is so long. You're picking up the ball on the 35-yard line. You get 2 first downs, you're in Brandon Aubrey territory. So you could literally put points on the board on pretty much every drive, no matter how poorly things are going for you. And that makes him very, very valuable.
Oh, he's hugely valuable with the Cowboys. I mean, Jerry is not the kind of guy that spends money on kickers. And you've got to be that good if Jerry's going to open the checkbook for you like that. But again, we've seen the last couple of years, I don't want to say he's automatic, but he's damn near automatic. And his leg is just phenomenal. His accuracy. I mean, for a kid that hadn't really played football up until college, standout player at Notre Dame, but, a kid who's just doesn't look rattled at all. I mean, he's got that kind of demeanor, that persona that nothing rattles him. I mean, we see it in Jacksonville too with Little. I mean, these kickers are he's going to get paid a boatload as well because they're changing the game. I mean, who would have thought kickers would have been kicking 65, 63-yard plus, even 10 years ago. So it's a huge change in the league. It's a huge kind of extra weapon for a lot of these teams, and they're paying these players accordingly. They are game changers. They're not quite Boswell at the Steelers game changers, but still, they're still putting up healthy numbers and being able to change the outcome of games as any Giants fan will tell you.
And Kieran O'Donovan, based on the exploits of our own Charlie Smith, I was smiling when I saw that news thinking, if I'm him, I'm eyeing that kind of contract because he's that kind of game-changing kicker. And there's a lot of Irish lads kicking ball now up and down the country who'd love to be the next Charlie Smith, and they'd love it even more knowing what kind of money is available.
And you're seeing it more and more every week on Leader kicking their social posts, 65-yarder, 70-yarder. It's all about distance, and you're absolutely right. 2 first downs and it's over the bar. It's going to be like hurling now in the next couple of seasons. People are going to start giving out. They're going to say they want the ball changed. They want the ball to be heavier. They want the rules changed again. So, if it becomes a kicking game, watch out for a lot of pushback. And the owners' meeting will be all about kicking now in a couple of years' time. But absolutely, and you want to, if you're talking about Irish kickers, you want as many of them to cash in as possible. And why not Charlie Smith? I mean, he's got a big leg as well as a kicker, and all the luck to them.
Brian, we will see on Thursday who joins Charlie Smith at the New Orleans Saints when they make their first round pick. It's a very exciting prospect for us again to be doing now our third watch along for the draft, and this time from the Arlington Hotel. Yet again, who've been great partners to us, and Kieran and the team there, they always do right by us, and I can't wait for it. Actually, I have to say, I'm really, really excited. I missed last year's, unfortunately, but I'll be back with a bang.
Yeah, I love it. I love draft night. I love doing this particular piece with, as you said, it's our third year doing it together. I think it was a bit of a flyer initially when we went down to Cork and did the first year, but the success was so good. And I recall saying to you at the time, taken back by the level of engagement that, like, and we're not talking about engagement at 1 o'clock in the morning. It was 3:30 in the morning, and with similar circumstances last year when myself, Kieran, Shane did it in Buskers. Same scenario again. People were fully invested, which is why we're continuing to go back, and it's great to have the Arlington Hotel again partnering for the 2026 season. That is the reason why we're going there on Thursday. We've kind of renewed with them. Kieran's very excited about the event, so are we, and I'm looking forward to your company as always, Conor. Yeah, it's gonna be great evening.
Is Kieran going to stay up with you for the whole thing?
No, he's a clever man. He will be in bed or maybe watching it from a laptop at home. No, it'll be. He's already instructed me who's going to be there. No, I'm looking forward. The setup is great. We have our videographer coming back in who we worked with last year. He's top notch. So really exciting even ahead. And Conor is going to be in company of 2 Giants fans over the course of a few hours. So I'd say by the time it's 4 o'clock in the morning, he'll be all joined out, especially if he does 2 picks at 5 and 10. He has to wait a long night to see the Bears pick, only for them to trade out.
Yeah, and having spent this time last year reading Matthew Walker's book, Why We Sleep, an excellent book on the science of sleep, I shudder to think about what staying up until 4 a.m. on Friday morning is going to do to my longevity. But sure, if you're going to sacrifice for anything, it should be for the draft and to hang out with you guys. I can't wait. Really looking forward to seeing Kieran and all the team at the Arlington Hotel. And thanks to them, as always, for being so solicitous to us and for putting us up and for giving us a nice room in which to watch the draft and watch it along with all of you. Join us 1 a.m. from the Arlington. We'll be live on Friday morning, right the way through the first round.
You live with intention, what you allow into your body and what you don't. Like you, Azure was well built on a higher standard. Truthful, transparent labels, every ingredient listed. No proprietary blends. Organic isn't our finish line. We go further with rigorous third-party testing beyond industry standards to verify purity and potency. Living deliberately means choosing products that align with your values. Azure Well, wellness without compromise. Visit azurelivingwell.com. These products have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Weight Watchers now offers access to affordable GLP-1s.
Weight Watchers has everything I need, from weight loss medications to nutrition support and help with my side effects.
With our program, our members are losing more weight with expert nutrition and side effect support.
Weight Watchers prescribing GLP-1 medications. It's been life-changing.
Better results, expert support, lose more weight, make it last. Get started for as low as $25 at WeightWatchers.com.
All medications require eligibility and prescription. First month as low as $25 with a 12-month Med Plus plan. Does not include the cost of GLP-1 medications.